living with no purpose or higher goals just sucks, to be honest. It just sucks because you have nothing to pull you out of that suffering, of that despair. You have no North Star to help you navigate all of the crazy stuff that happens in the world, all of the grief, all of the pain, all of the misery, all of the uncertainty. And it's completely uncertain. The world is, you don't know what's going to happen. And when you don't have this guiding North Star, it just sucks. And I'm speaking from experience, as I'm sure you can tell. It's so hard to pull yourself out when you're not thinking about a larger vision or a way to contribute to society. You want to feel like you can contribute to society, like you can make an impact and that you can actually help people and that you're doing something that's interesting to you. And when you don't feel like that, you start scrolling on your phone, you start just lounging around, you start doing just these unconscious behaviors and just being riddled with addiction. I could just say addiction. Addiction is is the symptom of having a lack of meaning. You don't get addicted because of the things themselves. It's just you have nothing better to do. You literally don't have something that you would prefer doing over scrolling. You might think you do. You'll be like, I kind of do want to, but no, you prefer the thing that you're addicted to. That's literally why you do it. You could never do something that you don't prefer. Like you always choose the path of least resistance in a sense, or the path that you think will make you the happiest. It might not seem like that, but you're always choosing the safer option in your mind. And so when you don't have a purpose, when you don't have a goal, the safer option is always going to be this endless array of pleasure and distraction devices that we've created as a society. And so that's what you do. You scroll, you watch videos, you watch movies, you endlessly get inspired on podcasts, you watch reality shows, you watch other people live their life. And you kind of just sit there, like just zoned out, watching them live their life, feeling all of these emotions, getting all like you're getting inspiration, feeling fear, but you're not the one living the life. You're vicariously living through just these platforms, essentially. And so what do we do? What do we do about this? We find meaning, we create meaning, we forge meaning out of life. We make life meaningful. And that seems incredibly difficult when you're in the depths. Maybe when you're a little bit out, you can maybe start to accept that it's possible that you can find meaning. But when you're in the depths and you're just you're stuck in addiction, you don't even believe that to be true. You feel like life is just suffering and avoidance of suffering is all that there is. I know that's the conclusion I came to when I was hardcore addicted to video games, to just watching content, even just binge watching spiritual content. I was just like, oh, okay, life must just be an avoidance of suffering. That's it. That is life. And the reason anybody does anything is simply to avoid suffering. But that's not it. That's not it. That's not the end all be all of life. That was just a phase. And so anyways, I don't want to talk too much about the problem and actually start speaking about solutions. So you need to first put your foot in the door and just say, I want to commit to being happy. Again, it's really difficult, but just say, I want to commit to being happy. I'm going to make a decision where I'm no longer going to pay the cost of negativity. This random guy on YouTube is telling me it's possible. So I'm going to believe him and think it's possible. No, but seriously, just actually, do you believe it? If you believe it, then work can be done. Like if you believe that you can live a positive life, like really ask yourself this question. Do you believe you can live a life rich of meaning and positivity? If the answer is yes, then the next part of the video is going to be helpful. If the answer is no, then you might need to cook a little bit longer in just the fires of suffering until you're like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm not paying this cost. I'm going to change. So anyways, so you decide that, okay, yes, I want to change. And then what you do is you learn more about yourself. You cut off these different addictions. You just push them aside temporarily and look inwards, and you're going to have relapses. And I said that it's difficult to push addictions if you don't have a purpose. And now I'm telling you to push addictions to find your purpose. I understand it's a bit of a catch-22 situation, and that's why you need to start with an initial intention of just, I'm going to commit to being happy. And so as you commit to being happy and ask yourself questions and introspect on what you actually want as a person, what are your interests, what are your values, what are the types of people that you want to help, what are your unique strengths, so what can you actually do, what have people told you that you are gifted at or that you're really good at. And everybody has something. Don't think you don't have something. You have a unique gift. It just, and I'm not saying this to be all like positive mindset-y. It's just been the case. Like every person that I've met has had a unique gift. It's just checked out over and over again. So you have one, undoubtedly. Figure out what that is. Start ideating and imagining how and what you could do that would fulfill you. Figure out what your core values are. This is probably the most important thing. What do you value? Do you value truth? Do you value beauty? Do you value kindness, love? Or do you value money, business, like all these different words? And you can find a value list. And to be honest, I have a bunch of videos on this topic of self-discovery. So watch those videos, watch other people's videos. Find reasons and interests and meaning within yourself. This is how you forge meaning. You go inwards and then you do a discovery and you pull things out and you see what's there. You see what you like, what you dislike. What you dislike is equally important. Thinking about what type of life you don't want to live. That makes things clearer for you. It reduces the space. It helps you find meaning. What don't you want to experience? What is the things that just no, like you don't want to live life in that way? And then find your higher values. And then, why are we doing all of this? I want to link it back to the reason of why this is important. It's because when you have a higher value, so let's say truth, or a higher contribution that you want to give to society. So a mission where you're doing something that feels really fulfilling and it's going to help a lot of people or a few people. That doesn't matter. It just matters your relationship to it. So when you have this, you start unlocking these higher levels of human experience, of joy, that were just kind of cut off to you before. You didn't know it was possible before when you were in addiction. And so the reason we're doing this self-discovery is to access those higher states and to just live a better life, a good life. A life that is your own, that isn't predicated on the expectations and judgments of other people. A large part of this is stepping out of fear, the fear that's kind of inflicted onto you by your society and your environment. So that's everything I wanted to talk about. Hopefully this helped, and hopefully this gave you some more clarity and motivation to draw the line and to start heading to a life that's not survival only. It's some transcendent value or mission. So yes, that's everything. If you need help with this exact topic that we spoke about in this video, I do offer help, coaching. Or if you want to join a community of people who are interested in awakening work and building integrated lives. So it's not just running off into the woods. It's really just being spiritual, but in the real world. There's a link for the community down below. And that's everything for now. Peace and love.